The current season for the players I'll be discussing today has been at best underwhelming. For various reasons, their performance has significantly dropped, and some are even on the verge of falling out of the NBA. The biggest declines of the 2024-25 season. This is the topic I'll be handling today in the new ZH Talks episode. Every year, dozens of young and talented NBA players come to the league fighting for their spot and playing time. This naturally means that dozens of other older players are going to leave the league every year. That list keeps growing and it includes better and better players. For example, the last season was the final one for the likes of Evan Fournier, Dennis Smith Jr., Patrick Beverley, and Cedi Osman. You would be right to say that these aren't the biggest stars of the NBA. However, each of them was a very experienced player with over 300 games in his career. Today I will highlight 10 players, most of whom will likely remain in the NBA. But this season has seriously damaged their reputation. And I will start with the former number 1 pick of the draft. Markelle Fultz has struggled to stay in the league for a long time. His 2023 season was solid. He averaged 14 points, 5.7 assists and 1.5 steals per game. However, the following season he lost his starting spot with the Orlando Magic and his numbers declined drastically. Bad news for someone in the final year of his contract. After last season, Fultz couldn't find a new team until mid-February, when the Sacramento Kings signed him. But he's not getting significant minutes there, and it's very possible that these are his final days in the NBA. Lowry might be playing his final NBA season, but due to age and health rather than poor play. When he signed with the Philadelphia 76ers last February, he hoped to return to his hometown and chase one last championship at 38 years old. However, he's played only 33 games this season, just half of a team's total, and when he does play, he hasn't been a major contributor. He's averaging just 4 points per game and 2.8 assists in nearly 19 minutes, while shooting an abysmal 35% from the field. All of those are career lows. On a one-year contract, this could very well be his final stretch in the league. Last season, Dario Saric was an important bench player for the Golden State Warriors, appearing in 64 games and playing over 17 minutes per game. That earned him a $10 million two-year contract with the Denver Nuggets, with the second year being a player option. But so far he has played only 15 games, not due to injury, but simply because coach Mike Malone prefers DeAndre Jordan, a veteran far past his prime, or young players with potential. Saric is shooting just 33% from the field and 26% from three, the worst percentages of his career, while averaging 3.5 points and 3.3 rebounds. And the Nuggets are stuck paying for another year of this level of play. Similar to how the Nuggets hoped Saric would be a reliable backup for Nikola Jokic, the Brooklyn Nets might have believed they could rejuvenate D'Angelo Russell's career. He arrived from the Lakers, where he was heavily criticized, and a return to Brooklyn, where he played from 2017 to 2019, seemed like a chance to reset. It hasn't worked out. Per 36 minutes his scoring and assist numbers are up, but he's shooting under 39% from the field and barely 32% from free, both career worsts. The Nets want to clear cap space for the offseason, so Russell likely isn't part of their long-term plans. If they can't sign a star, he might get a short-term deal, but even that won't be easy. Ben Simmons will also be a free agent this summer. This season he earned over $39 million, unless he forfeited part of it when terminating his contract with the Brooklyn Nets. On February 10th, he signed a deal with the Los Angeles Clippers for the remainder of the season. He played 5 games before a knee injury sidelined him again, and he's been out for the next 2 weeks. When he did play, his numbers were decent: 11.5 points, 8.8 rebounds, 8.5 assists and 2.4 steals per 36 minutes, with 58% shooting from the field and a surprisingly solid 73% from the free throw line. He is still just 28 years old, but his future in the NBA looks uncertain. If he manages to play 3 more games before the season ends, it will be his highest number of appearances in a season since 2021. Simmons' former teammate in Philadelphia, Joel Embiid, is personally my biggest disappointment of the decade. Why? Because early in his career I truly believed in him. I even imagined him as the next Hakeem Olajuwon. Skill-wise, he has become one of the best centers ever, but health-wise, he is a mix of Sam Bowie and Greg Oden. Last season, when healthy, he was ultra efficient. He scored more total points than minutes played, something that NBA hasn't seen since Wilt Chamberlain. He averaged over 37 points per 36 minutes. But injuries limited him to just 39 games. He then played in the Olympics and won gold, only to appear in just 19 NBA games this season before being shut down. This season he posted the lowest field goal and three-point percentages of his career, along with career lows in rebounds and blocks per 36 minutes. There are growing rumors that his medical issues could force him into early retirement. Statistically, 23.8 points, 8.2 rebounds and 4.5 assists don't seem terrible, but compared to his previous seasons, this one has been a disaster. Embiid was supposed to get support this season from newly acquired Paul George. I don't need to tell you that didn't happen. George knew he would be the third option behind Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. But with Embiid out for most of the season, he had a chance to step up as the second option, and he failed. His 16.2 points per game mark his lowest output since the 2012 season, excluding 2015 when he played just 6 games due to injury. While his shooting percentages are not the worst of his career, his overall impact has been disappointing. His usage rate, measuring how involved a player is in offensive possessions, is at its lowest in 12 years. And while some players like Quentin Grimes have recorded multiple 30-point games in March alone, George has done so only 3 times all season. Like George, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope changed teams last summer. He was expected to be a key addition for the Orlando Magic, but instead he has been a major disappointment. Injuries to the team's stars made things harder, but KCP's biggest issue has been shooting. With LeBron James and Nikola Jokic creating open looks for him, KCP hit 39% of his threes over 5 seasons. But in Orlando, playing off Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, that percentage has dropped to just 31%, his worst since 2016. The Magic ranked dead last in 3-point shooting, and KCP, meant to help fix that, has barely been above the team's poor average. Unlike KCP, Jerami Grant didn't change teams, though many expected him to. He remained with the Portland Trail Blazers, but he has been more of a liability than an asset. His stats don't look terrible: 14.4 points, 3.5 rebounds, 2.1 assists and 1 block, but the details paint a different picture. As a power forward, his rebounding is weak. As a scorer, he's shooting just 36% from the field, the worst since his rookie season. Meanwhile, he is earning over $29 million this year, with his salary increasing in the coming years. His presence also limits the development of young players like Deni Avdija and Toumani Camara. Portland may try to trade him, but with his contract running until 2028, it won't be easy. The Miami Heat are in a not so terrible, but still far from ideal situation with their players' contract. When they acquired Terry Rozier from the Charlotte Hornets last year, they didn't expect him to be such a weak player. However, it turned out that Rozier looked good only because he played in Charlotte, where there weren't many players better than him. He had a decent season last year, averaging over 16 points per game and hitting 37% of his three-pointers. His stats were, of course, worse than in Charlotte, but that was expected since he joined a team with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. He was supposed to be the 4th option, and for a 4th option, that production was more than enough. But this season, it's questionable whether he's even the 6th option. Rozier has been relegated to a bench role, and ironically, since moving to the 2nd unit, he has played better. He's scoring more efficiently simply because he is facing opponents' bench players. That seems to be his true level. The Heat would love to trade him, but his contract makes it difficult. Not many teams are eager to take on a player making $26 million who is underperforming. That's it for this episode. As always, let me know in the comments which players in your opinion had the biggest decline of the year. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!